Coming up on today's video, we're going to run through a 2-round mock draft on today's video. Last week, we did a mock draft where the Giants had the number 2 overall pick. But since the Giants were able to defeat the Washington Commanders, the Giants have now slid back to the 5th overall pick, which really changes the outlook of the draft, in my opinion. Reminder, the Giants have 3 picks inside those first 2 rounds, thanks to the Leonard Williams trade. And now the current draft order looks like so. The Chicago Bears own that first pick via the Carolina Panthers. The Arizona Cardinals are right now number 2. New England Patriots sitting at 3. The Giants play the Patriots this week. So maybe if the Giants lose to the Patriots, if you're in that camp, you want them to lose games, they could potentially hop back in to that top 3. Got the Bears at 4 with the New York Football Giants at 5. So we ran through our mock draft simulator here at Chat Sports. And with the number 1 pick in the draft, the Chicago Bears selected the quarterback Drake May out of North Carolina. Look, I understand that some people will say, Marshall, this draft, no way, Caleb Williams isn't going to win number 1. Well, he ends up actually going number 2 to the Arizona Cardinals in this draft. I do think if the draft board were to fall as it does with the Bears and the Cardinals picking at the top 2, I could see a trade happening where a team leapfrogs into the top 2 to select their guy, but this is how it fell out in our mock draft simulator. Then the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick were on the clock, and Joe Alt, the standout offensive tackle out of Notre Dame, is right now selected to go to New England. And then you got Marvin Harrison Jr. going to the Chicago Bears. So the guys off the board when the Giants are on the clock at pick number 5. You got Drake May, Caleb Williams, Joe Alt, Marvin Harrison Jr. Some other players that were still on the board. You still had really good offensive tackle out of Penn State. You still got a lot of the top quarterbacks with Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels. And you're looking at a guy like Brock Bowers and the standout receiver from Washington. Look, there's a lot of ways you could go. But I honestly think the Giants are going to draft a quarterback in the first round. And I think the 3 guys that you would be looking at if you did hold the 5th pick and the draft board fell out the way it does, I think you're looking at Michael Penix. I think you're looking at Bo Nix. I think you're looking at Jaden Daniels. All play the position a little bit differently. Michael Penix, in my opinion, is more polished than either of these 2 guys. I just like the winning culture that he has, the mindset and the swag that he brings. Just feels like a gamer. Bo Nix, very talented player. High-rated prospect coming out of high school. Bounced around in college football, but this year for the Oregon Ducks, he's looking like an absolute beast, completing 78% of his passes, over 3,500 yards with 35 touchdowns and just 2 INTs. He makes a lot of smart decisions. He has a lot of experience. I think that's really benefiting him as he is an older prospect. And then Jaden Daniels. Some people are saying he's the next Lamar Jackson in the sense of don't overlook the tape. Don't overlook the splash plays. All he does is make big plays. And what do you have, 8 touchdowns this past weekend for LSU? The kid is special. But if I was the general manager and the Giants were picking 5 and these 3 guys were on the board, give me Michael Penix Jr., the quarterback for Washington. When I watched that game this weekend for Washington, it had upset potential written all over it. And Michael Penix had an opportunity to somewhat fumble that game away in the second half. It was coming down to the wire, but I just love the way he stepped up. I love the moxie that he has. I love the swag that he has. The ability to win from in the pocket and outside the pocket, and the ability to always, when he's making, I would say, creating time for himself behind the line of scrimmage, his eyes are downfield. I think he has a great touch. I think he can layer the football really well. Maybe not an A-plus arm strength, but I've seen him make some terrific throws, and I think he's a guy that you could build a franchise around. I just love the gamesmanship. I love the fact that the dude can get it done with his feet, with his arm. I think he's a gamer. I think he's a competitive, and I think he looked pretty damn good in Giants blue, and I would fully be excited if he was the next quarterback for the New York Giants. I'm going to go with Michael Penix Jr., but I'll let you guys make the pick right here. If the draft board fell the way it did, like we showed you, and these were the 3 quarterbacks on the board when pick number 5 was in, who would you take? Is it Michael Penix? Is it Bo Nix? Is it Jaden Daniels? I want to hear from you down in the comment section. We'll get to the other 2 picks the Giants have in round 2, but first, I got to give a huge shout out to our proud sponsor, Game Time, the #1 ticketing app in the game. And if you use the promo code GiantsChat, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. It's the best seats and lowest prices guaranteed. What I love is that prices drop as the event gets closer. It's also the lowest prices guaranteed. It's easy to use, and I love that when you're looking at the tickets to buy, you get a view of the seat. Redeem the code Giants Chat, and you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. NFL, NBA, college football, college basketball, concerts, theater events, and more are the type of events that you can get tickets for on Game Time. Game Time, the best ticketing app in the game. It's promo code Giants Chat, $20 off. So the Giants are on the clock once again at pick number 37. And I'm going to go with the saying that I always say, invest in your investments. You walk away with Michael Penix in the first round. Now let's go get him a dog. Let's go get him a game changer on the outside. And I have the Giants selecting the speedy big play wide receiver out of the University of Texas, Xavier Worthy. When he is on the outside and he has one-on-one coverage, he is a threat to take the top off the defense. He's also a guy, when he has the ball in his hands, he's one of the best in college at just creating yak. He could break tackles. He gets north and south. He's a guy that continues to improve as a route runner. Year over year at Texas, he's become a better route runner, and now in one-on-one situations, he can almost get open and win at any time. He comes in at 6'1", a little bit slighter of a guy, just 172 pounds, but man, oh man, is he a burner. He's projected to run a 4.240. How many times have we heard Brian Dable and Joe Schoen that we want to get this football team faster? We want to have generators with the football and their hands on the outside. You have him, Hyatt, Slayton, Waller, hopefully another free agent. That's going to be a whole lot of speed. And also, he was a first-team Big 12 punt returner in 2022. We know how the punt returner position is shaken out for the Giants before Gunnar Olszewski. I wouldn't mind having a guy back there that could go the distance anytime he touches it. I'm going to get an offensive player to go alongside Penix to help him out and grow. Hopefully they form a dynamic duo. But I'm going to go back and invest in my investment again. With the second selection that the Giants have in round 2, slide to be pick number 54, thanks to the Seattle Seahawks, I'm going to go with interior offensive lineman Cooper Beebe. Plays tackle, but he is projected to slot in as an interior offensive lineman in the National Football League. And we know those offensive linemen from Kansas State, they are mean and nasty, and he can get the best of people when he gets his hands on them. Dane Brugler of The Athletic, the number 1 draft analyst in the game, in my opinion, said this about Beebe. What he does best, heavy hands at contact. Despite his lack of length when it comes to arms, only 31.5 inches, Beebe is able to keep rushers from his body because of the power in his hands. He consistently gets movements on down blocks and peppers defenders as a pass blocker, creating knockback and holding his ground. Beebe's aggressive mentality matches his physical hands. In this clip against Texas Tech, Beebe, number 50 at left guard, uses technically strong aiming points and heavy, insistent hands to halt the 3 technique defensive tackle and put him on his back. His competitive nature and controlled, powerful hands were a consistent theme on his 2022 film. Look, the Giants have to improve the offensive line. Once again, gave up 9 sacks this past week to the Washington Commanders. And while I actually do think the offensive line is improving, partially due to the fact that they're becoming more healthy and just becoming more cohesive as a unit, the Giants just have to upgrade the talent level at that position. I don't know if I can trust Evan Neal to be a starter on this team next year. Maybe you select a right tackle at the top of round 2 and then get that receiver at the end of round 2. But whatever it is, the Giants have to improve on the offensive line. It's 10 years running. Let's go get it right. Draft Beebe, draft someone in the top 3 picks, and go sign someone as well, and then let's go to battle. I drafted Michael Penix with pick number 5, Xavier Worthy with pick number 37, and Cooper Beebe, the interior offensive lineman, with pick number 3. So you get a quarterback, you get a playmaker, and you get an interior offensive lineman. Grade Marshall's mock draft. I want you guys to be mean and honest with me. Grade it for me. A, B, C, D, or F. I want to hear from all of you down in the comment section. As always, if you think I'm an idiot and you want to yell at me over on Twitter, go ahead and do so. Hit me up at @MarshallGreen_. I'm just starting to watch more and more content or draft prospect highlights and film and all of that stuff. And I want to be able to dive into it more and more and talk with you guys about it. So let's do it over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_.